Hello, everybody. So we had early rebound in anticipation of a Fed meeting. Tesla, for example, was one of his big positions for me that rebounded very nicely before the Fed meeting. Now, after the Fed speech, we're getting crypto-related stocks bouncing back, and it is indeed a beautiful day for growth stocks in general. Growth investors, celebrate my portfolio, as I assume many of you hit another all-time high, so this is a very celebratory time. Of course, in the comments section, I don't expect many of you partying about the fact that strategy is way ahead of Bitcoin today. The outperformance above Bitcoin today is just insane, right? You're looking at roughly a fourfold the performance roughly of Bitcoin. So strategy absolutely rebounding. And, this is kind of my question, like, wait a minute. Is he selling MSTR? Come on, or is he not? I'm so lost. I just don't know anymore because he didn't sell last week. So maybe this rebound is due to the fact that he's not selling the common, or maybe he is, and that's entirely at his discretion. Like I said, he sees the flows and he knows exactly. But this bounce is more than welcome after months of boringness and pain. And as a YouTuber, I guess I was more annoyed by how boring it was. The pain doesn't do anything for me. The volatility, I've been in growth stocks for so long, volatility doesn't do much to me. The point is the preferred, so Strike is of course is pumping as well, because Strike of course has that call option on MSTR common. The other preferreds are slightly up. For Stretch, we're not there yet. Stretch is not going up just yet. We'll see as the lower rates trickle down in the economy. I think Stretch will eventually lift off as well. Where we have a lift off, though, is in the MNAV. We are now at 1.5 MNAV. This is strategytracker.com. We're now 1.5 MNAV for strategy right now as I speak. We went as low as 1.41, as low as 1.41. We are rebounding. It is a beautiful day today. Moving on to miners that really deserve it, and especially in the case of CleanSpark, so much FUD on this company for years, getting mad at the CEO for buying a tiny plane. Anyways, I guess myself too, I wasn't too happy about the CEO selling some Bitcoin to pay for the electric bill. But anyways, to each their own. CleanSpark was really oversold. It was through its own valley of despair. It is bouncing nearly 17% today, 17%. The sell-off was way overdone. We have a 2.5 MNAV. Of course, Bitcoin miners don't issue equity in the same way as traditional treasury companies, but both CleanSpark and Mara, both of these companies have done equity raises to acquire some Bitcoin, Riot as well. And so the fact that they have these high MNAV, and for Mara, of course, that MNAV is going up. Like we were at 0.98 for the longest time. Now it's going up nicely. Plus 10% for Mara today. Just stunning. Note that this bounce back is across the sector. If you look at the Bitwise Bitcoin Standard ETF, which are like the top 100 companies who have more than 1,000 Bitcoin, the methodology is a little different, but it's roughly that. It tracks, it's the best tracker for the sector that I've found. It's got MetaPlanet, it's got CleanSpark, it's got, strategy, of course. It's got like all of the big holders of Bitcoin. It's up 3.76% on a day where Bitcoin, of course, is only up 1.6%. So across the board, across the sector, if you're exposed to these companies, today is a very happy day. I want to have a quick talk about Cooler and MetaPlanet. I own both of these stocks. I still like both of these stocks. I know people get very upset about the volatility of these stocks, and they're like, look, the stock is worthless. But as strategy shows, you can't know, or CleanSpark, especially CleanSpark, you can't know when you're going to have 2 to 3 trading days and you're going to be trending up 30% in a few days. You can't know that. And that's why I want to be in assets when they are cheap. Cooler is executing its space battery strategy very nicely. They've been very active with their Cooler One technology, their underlying products. I think Cooler is more and more trying to not look like a Bitcoin treasury company, and it's benefiting the MNAV. The MNAV we used to be much higher for Cooler, but given the bear market that we have in treasury companies right now, a 1.58 is accretive if they were to use their ATM. If you remember, I've covered Cooler before, they have a major ATM in place. They can ATM, and of course that would be accretive for them to ATM at these levels, at a 1.58. It'd be more accretive than strategy, for example, to ATM. A company who has gone into the most valley of despair of them all is Metaplanet. I need to make another dedicated video on Metaplanet if I only had the time. I love the raise, the major raise. They're going to buy more than 10,000 Bitcoin with $1 billion plus raise that they did in the United States. The funds should be available right now, so they should be buying pretty soon, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. They should be buying a whole bunch of Bitcoin coming. This is a company that's going to have 30,000 Bitcoin pretty soon, and the market just keeps selling it off. You know the drill. It's always the same thing. It's always the same articles. Dilution bad. People not understanding capturing the premium. How do you capture the premium? In the case of Metaplanet, this premium has fallen to a ridiculous 1.17 premium. That has been a precipitous fall. The market is brutal because these companies are so volatile, but that's also the price you pay for these returns. Remember, Metaplanet was the highest performing stock for all of 2024, for all markets combined. All of them, Metaplanet was the most performing stock. And keep in mind, the way some of these MNAVs are calculated their enterprise value versus debt. I tend to prefer enterprise value. That's a more optimistic way to look at it, especially when the debt in these companies oftentimes converts to equity. But nonetheless, still accretive for them to sell shares. And, it's not how it's reported online, right? It's not how people view it. It's not how the bears keep viewing it. And let's talk about a final stock that has had its own fair share of bears. Oh, HIMS down 9% yesterday, up 10-11% today. It's the punching bag. Do you remember the picture I had drawn with an AI showing a punching bag with HIMS branded punching bag? This is literally what this stock is. It's up 11% today. HIMS House reporting two very bad ratings from TradFi. TradFi doesn't understand HIMS. They will be late to the HIMS story, in my view. They will take a very long time understanding HIMS. They think there's no moat. They don't understand that it's a network of doctors in the back who's prescribing, that it's tough to get. They just don't understand why people would pay out of pocket for products because it's cheaper than co-pays. Of course, that's why they do it, but they don't understand. The traditional finance doesn't understand the new business model that HIMS has created, and it seems like they do a lot of effort to bring it down. Like, if you remember, this is from my video yesterday, talking about, although many stocks were up yesterday, two stocks, HIMS and CorMedix being up nicely right now as well, by the way, they were way up yesterday on just FUD news. Like HIMS reacts, it's, you wake up one morning and there's a bunch of news that's like spinned super negatively, and they make it about HIMS and the stock is down 10%. And then today HIMS is up 10%. Why? Because we all found out that they removed the language. Like, they removed the language on all of their sites and the app. They changed the language. They updated the language. The FDA letter was very clear. They just wanted to remove ingredients like Wegovy, and they wanted them to remove clinically proven, like literally 9 words and 3 words is what they wanted them to remove clinically proven ingredients. So they did that, right? Overnight. Of course they were going to do that, right? They did it. And that letter was a super generic letter. It was sent to 100 companies. It was barely edited. Responding to that was very, very easy, but they made it seem like it was the end of the world. Like, even Lilly or Novo got that letter. Yeah, I'm sure Lilly and Novo probably corrected the language too. That's it. This was a minor thing. And the stock was down 9%, and now up 10%. Oh, this is an options trader's dream, I suppose. If you want to take the risk of a green candle on HIMS and HIMS, shooting past 70 or 80, and then you lose your stock. As you know, I don't do that for a company like HIMS. I'd be tempted for a smaller company, but HIMS is such a core position in my portfolio. I do not do that for HIMS. I think HIMS is still undervalued, albeit LifeMD mini HIMS is a tad less valued, like a tad better valuation for LifeMD than HIMS, but still beautiful day. This is a beautiful day for growth investing and growth stock investors, and the celebration continues for me over here. Anyways, this was not investment advice. This is not financial advice. This is only entertainment. Only entertainment. I hope you were entertained. Please like, please subscribe, follow me on Patreon, follow me on X. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.